Welcome, welcome. It's Evil Fett, and my sidekick are the other way around, Villainous Red. Just want to say thank you, everyone, for another beautiful C-List Sunday. This is the C-List Villains, the cultivators of cosplay, comic, pop culture.
You have to make that easier.
I'll just leave it like as Anthony says, the cultivators of comic book culture. How's that, everyone?
Cultivated of just the culture, convention culture. Is
Time
Sunday
so?
new time slot? No, we're aiming for a 2 a week show now. Again, that way we have more avenues to express ourselves. Because plus, keep you guys engaged. It seems like that our audience tend to fluctuate, and you wanna you wanna make sure that we're there for you every time that we're supposed to be there.
Absolutely. And there's different topics that we go by, and topics on Tuesday are different than topics on Sunday. And if we have some kind of creator, we'll do a Saturday. So we're kind of there for you. We want to keep everyone engaged. We want to keep everyone up to date. We want to keep everybody C-list ready. So that's why
Nice.
we're doing this.
I like that one. See, let's ready. Did AJ and E-Man abandon the show? No. AJ's currently swamped at his current employer, so it's again kind of tough for him to jump on every now and then. But he's trying to make the Tuesday shows. E-Man, however, is busy with fatherhood. He's doesn't have a new kid, but he also has new responsibilities as far as like since the kids are getting older, that they're going to more extracurricular activities such as piano practice, sports, and whatever else that they do at those preteens and freshman year.
Miss So, you don't like me? I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt.
She's just teasing. I need more sealess buns in my life. Twice a week works for me. We're there for you, Miss O.
We're there for you.
We're there.
Absolutely. Tonight's episode is a cornucopia because it's the holiday. So I figure out
Cornucopia, another 10-cent word. That's like being at Thanksgiving. Like there's a cornucopia of stuff to eat on the table.
I got a horn with stuff to eat for you guys to spoon feed you tonight. We're going to talk about some things we talked about last week. We're going to talk about some things we didn't talk about last week, and we're going to jump into the new season of Fear. If anyone's still watching it,
Was that tonight?
That was tonight, the first episode tonight. So, Red, you got to make up for it, and I'll fill all our fans what's going on with Madison and Victor Strand.
No wonder they kicked off Morgan.
No, Morgan. Remember, Morgan left because he's going to join with Rick and Michonne on their new show.
Yeah, that's why they kicked off Morgan out of the finale of Fear. Yeah.
Well, the finale is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
The finale is right. This starting the first episode. There's 7 episodes, and then Fear is going to be no longer.
Yeah, I need to go back and because I stopped at the last two, the first 2 episodes that came out, and I did not like the way they're rehashing the old Morgan where nothing matters but this kid, or nothing matters more than just my mission and fuck y'all, you know.
But that's who Morgan is. I mean, I guess we're going to start out with this, so let's keep going. It's really good. Yeah, that's who Morgan is. Morgan becomes a kind of a saint. Then all of a sudden he snaps and becomes, focused on one thing, which is either saving his child, saving his wife, or killing everybody that's around.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have 2 guys that really fluctuate on the show ever since the 4th season, which is Morgan and which is what's his name?
Victor Strand.
Strand. You went from like good guy to bad guy with Victor Strand, and with Morgan, it's like, is he in? Is he out? Is he in? Is he out? It's like we can never count on this guy to really just like come through.
I agree 100%. That's why I like Morgan in The Walking Dead. I didn't like him so much being the leader in Fear. Because I don't think Morgan is really a leader. I think Morgan is a reactionary character.
Well, he's your lieutenant. He's your go-to guy to get shit done.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's not a Rick.
No, even Rick Rick himself is the guy who gets shit done, but it's like he makes the tougher decisions.
See, that's why I like Rick and Morty. See, we're jumping around the cornucopia. That's why I like Rick. There's only the Rick, right? I mean, there's Rick C81 and C82 and all these other, but there's only one. There's only one Rick.
Rick Grimes seems to be the rickest of them all.
Rick Grimes is the rickest of them all. Correct. I agree. See, I hope you like how we're jumping around tonight, fans.
Yeah, Rick Grimes is the rickest of them all.
Yeah, he's the, and Carl is the Mortiest of them all.
Yeah, I think the what do you call it, the mistake that the original show had done was really go off the books and kill off Carl.
Yeah, because if you read the comic books, Carl ends up being Rick. I mean, he takes over the group and leads them with his one arm, and he does a great job doing it. Yeah, I think Carl is the Ricker of the Rick.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, let's talk about Fear. It starts out a little different because it's been a little bit since Padre fell.
Give a recap between, I guess, the first episode of this season and then towards the break before you.
Well, today is the first episode of this season.
Yeah, I mean the first, because this is 7B, right? 7A. Correct. Yeah, give him a recap of 7A.
Well, Madison shows up and she's making up for her child stealing for Padre because she was taking kids away from their parents out in the plains of Texas and bringing them to Padre for safety. But Padre wasn't what Madison thought it was. Padre was more of a testing zone of whatever they were going to test on the zombies and whatnot. And they kind of used Madison's group along with Paul Rubin and all the other ones as to clean out some areas that they had stored all these ICTF containers, what goes on trucks and trains, and it was full of walkers, and they kind of,
before that they were like, what, radioactive waste that was in those containers? Or
no, actually there was no radioactive waste in those containers. The first guy of Padre is a soldier, and it was a soldier or a Navy kind of depot, and he after things fell, he took over that Navy base and kind of made it that, and they had all these, storage containers full of food and equipment and stuff. But after he died trying to save his daughter, because his daughter and his son took over Padre, and they kind of were running it more as a testing zone. And then they had to con Madison to clean out where all those containers were, so because they were running out of food and munition and whatnot. And that's what that was about. And then the fall of Padre, and then Madison took over Padre, and this brings us up to where we're at now with Madison and Strand meeting again.
So was there any involvement with the OCR from The Walking Dead World Beyond?
No, there wasn't. That's what I was waiting for too. I was waiting for the OCR to step in and fly in and do something, but no, they never showed.
Okay, and then how about the reporter from the 6th season where she bounced off and I guess took off with her girlfriend? What do we get to see her again for the rest of this episode, or is she just completely gone?
Well, after the ending episode of last season, you don't see her anymore. You just see her military truck that she used to drive.
Yeah,
that's all you see, and you see Madison and oh god, the character that Paul Rubens played. They run into that truck, and they're not there. Okay. So you don't really know where they're at. They could be looking for gas and just left the truck there, or they could be dead, or they could be somewhere else. But the truck was there.
Okay, sir. But since we have roughly 6-7 episodes left.
After today's 6.
Okay, so I'm assuming that at least that chick will show up, plus Alicia and whomever else that was kind of had disappeared from prior seasons, right? Because we also get, what's his name, back from the ranch. I forgot. Troy.
Yeah. Troy is the bad guy now in this final 6 episodes.
So to catch everybody up on Troy, Troy was at the ranch. His family ran that ranch.
Correct.
Madison was trying to make a deal with the Indians to
You are correct.
but in order to really win them over, Madison had to kill his dad because the dad was the one who stole their rights of the land.
You are correct. And then Madison had a ending fight with Troy and hit him a couple times in the head with a hammer and left him for dead.
At the dam. At the dam.
You are correct.
All right. See, I still know my Walking Dead. It's just that this season, I mean, 7A was just completely trash from the get-go.
Yeah. But I still watched it religiously. So to get you going on tonight is Strand reinvents himself again for the 800th time. And he has his own tower again. He uses an Embassy Suites as his tower this time.
This guy.
He does it. You got to give him credit. He gets all these people to follow him and listen to him and work for him and fight for him. And
I guess he just can't. He can't really live without a life of luxury because he had it from his boyfriend and at the compound in Mexico.
Well, it wasn't really compound. It was his boyfriend or his lover's villa
plus the yacht.
Plus the yacht.
And then what was the other one? There was another hotel.
Well, that was a office building in San Antonio that he had.
Yeah.
And made it completely covered it with the walkers to protect him, and then he, did his villainous from inside.
And then there's another one in Mexico that he kind of occupied as well.
Well, and don't forget the baseball field too, which Madison made. He kind of was there too.
Yeah, that guy is just riding everybody. That way he could be the one that's safe. He's the number one guy. He's gonna die at the end.
I believe so too. But in this one, he reinvents himself. There is a busload of German tourists that are staying in this hotel when the things went down. So they got trapped there. So now you have 25, 30 German citizens in Texas on vacation. So they're staying in this hotel. And Victor comes in, and Victor, of course, is extremely worldly. So he speaks perfect German, and he talks to him, and he gets himself in, and he reinvents himself and calls himself Anton. And then he finds another lover, another man who I guess he really loves, but he lies so much you don't know if he loves them or he's using them. So then Madison shows up at the grounds of the hotel, and then
well, you're talking about tonight's episode.
I'm talking about tonight's episode.
Okay. So it's like saying he has his own villa. No, his boyfriend did, and he in the course of the first and second season, that was the whole goal, was to get to the villa in order for them to get safety. The boyfriend had died because he was bitten. But
he was bitten, correct.
Strand goes back to LA, I guess, to finish up some business. But I guess the boyfriend had left him a whole bunch of stuff along with the villa. So they had the boat, the villa, and whoever was working in the villa.
Right. Which was about 30 or 40 servants who all died because of Victor and Madison too. Yeah. So
because that who's the old Mexican barber dude?
Well, he's still in it. I forgot his name, but Ruben Blades plays the character.
Ruben Blades. Yeah, he ends up burning the place down because he was hallucinating, thinking he saw his wife.
Yeah, correct.
For him to see her again, he would need to burn the place down.
Right.
So that was like the what do you call it, the beginning of his his mental breakdown is when he's starting to be more delusional. But yeah, he has a steady decline. Not like Victor Strand or Morgan, where they're up and down. It's just slowly going downhill for old Ruben.
But again, if you know his backstory, he was a Contra, and he did a lot of bad things during that Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, the whole Cuban affair kind of deal. Yeah, he was a guerrilla.
Well, not Cuban. It was Nicaraguan.
Nicaragua. Hey, we got a guest.
Oh, Lauren, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, party people?
Party people in the house.
That's good. That's good. Like,
Hey,
guys, what's
buy
going
that comic capsule. Buy that comic capsule.
on? Hey, that you got it signed by JG, huh?
Well, John Jang, Stan Sakai, Julie Sakai.
Wow, that's
What?
epic, bro.
She gave me a little bunny too.
She's cute. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, Lawrence. And yourself, young man?
I'm doing good. I did not know the topic you guys were talking about, so I completely missed it. What were you guys TV watching?
Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead, the first episode of the
Are you
last season.
a fan of the Walking Dead series at all?
I'll be honest. I stopped after like season 2 for a while, and I was like, oh, this is just too much gore. And then it's like it's the worst that the humans are doing to the other humans, right? Yeah, like instead of, like surviving to each other, like let's try to screw each other as much as possible. Like, oh, this is not
That's just real world shit right there, though.
it's got some lessons. I'm not gonna say no, but I was like, oh, I don't need this in my life right now. So I'm like, so I just paused. I'll probably pick it up like later on.
Yeah, I mean, ignorance is bliss, right? So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go my happy honking dory life and deal with my own problems. Yeah, because all this other stuff, whenever there's a fucking zombie apocalypse, then yeah, I'll make sure I'll be ready.
Don't worry, Lawrence. I got your back.
Don't worry, I have a lot of prepper friends. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, you know.
Well, I'm not a prepper, but I got your back, Lawrence.
Thank you. But I do have, like, seriously, my friends are like, hey, you know, I was like, what do you do for, you know, in case you need to exchange stuff? Well, I got gold. I was like, do you get the gold bars? He says, no, you get the gold coins because then you could use it as buck. I never thought about that stuff, but you know, when you're
absolutely,
prepping,
and silver too.
yeah, and then like, how are you gonna cut the big bar, dummy? I was like, oh, that's perfect sense. Yeah, so you know, you get the silver, you get the gold coins, you don't get the bars. You're like, it's all about prepping.
Because you have to melt that shit down in order for it to be used. You don't want to just give a whole gold bar away.
Right.
That's right. So you know, even though it's more space efficient, you're always getting the gold coins. You're never getting the gold bars. So it's all good.
So says she started watching Fear the Walking Dead, but she's way behind now. It was a good spinoff though, and I only first saw the first two seasons, and she also watched prepper videos.
Well, then you should jump in, Miss Soul. I highly recommend it. I mean, if you're a Walking Dead fan, what the hell, give it a try.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Yeah, it's almost done. Yeah, and I want to say something. Lawrence is a great guy who has a great product called Comic Capsule. I want everybody to go to comiccapsule.com and take a look. If you're a comic book fan like me and Red and Lawrence, they're the best things for your comics. They're absolutely incredible to protect your comics in daily use and not in daily use. They fit perfect in a short box or a long box, and I love it. So
This is
I
not
give it 2 thumbs up.
Sponsorship, but we're just whoring it for him.
I think some people would think I paid you guys for sure, but it's definitely not the case at all. So you know, appreciate it. Hold on just a second. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Didn't know I was gonna be so popular at night. So
it's okay. It's okay. Look, you're popular to me, so I'd be calling you if I wasn't here. So
it's all.
I mean, it's a condom for comics, but you also put your documents in there during the apocalypse, which will protect it.
Hey, you laugh, but a comic could be the currency during the Great Apocalypse.
Currency, yeah.
Absolutely. And Fallout, it is currency, a comic book. So there we go.
There you go. You know, trade value. I need some food for some comic trade. You know,
you need toilet paper. I got toilet paper right here.
And it's UV protected. You don't have to worry about the sun ruining it, right? So that
I just meant that I got older issues that I can live without.
That's right, and they're stackable, so it's easier for transportation. So
there we go.
Not like rolls, because rolls are a bit clunky.
That's right. You want compact solutions, kids.
Absolutely. So get kids out there in the podcast land, C-list villain fans. Comic Capsule.
Well, thank you guys. I didn't know I was coming into this. I was thinking, I'll just talk to you guys and just say hi. But thank you for the shout out. I always appreciate it.
No. It like I said, if I didn't believe in the product, I wouldn't push the product. So I'm pushing the product is the wrong thing. I shouldn't say that. If I wouldn't stand behind this product, I wouldn't be talking about this product.
Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Yeah.
It's like our version of your version of the ShamWow. It's like, wow. It's
exactly. It's a comic book version of ShamWow. You got to have
it. Well, thank you, everyone. Yeah, it's great. Hey, Slumboards, how's it going?
Well, E-Man is watching us right now. He's supposed to be jumping on. So, but
E-Man, put your lovely long hair. Put your lovely long hair in a ponytail and get on.
I got to shout out to E-Man. E-Man did some great stuff this weekend. He had that John Boy commission, raising money for Comics for Cancer. Great. I think the Comics for Cancer, when I left the auction, was at 47,000 these past couple of days. But E-Man helped contribute to that, getting a full commission by John Boy and putting up for auction. So shout out to E-Man, doing good for the world and whatnot. So very cool.
Wow, 47,000?
$47,000.
Look at that.
Yeah, when I left. So yeah, so it was really good stuff by E-Man.
We weren't invited to that. What the hell?
I guess we're not good looking enough. That's the problem. You have to be good looking.
You can't. I thought he invited you. I thought this was de facto. Oh, see, it went over 50,000. I mean, like, who knew, right? So, I mean, shout out to all the people who were doing that. There's a couple of events throughout the weekend. I participated in 2. If I had known, Comic Capsule would have donated more. I just didn't know that all the various events. Next year, we'll probably get a little bit better on that. But we did donate 22. One of the auctions. We'll donate more as a lot of people donating great sketches and commissions. Picked here and there. So it was great for those who could make it out for Comics for Cancer this weekend. It was $50K more to the cause. So
wow,
killing cancer. So awesome.
That's incredible. I love to hear that. I love to hear that.
Oh, breaking news.
Breaking news.
8 minutes left in the game. 24-17. Eagles lead. 8 minutes left. Your Dolphins could catch up.
The Dolphins are comeback kids, man. Don't worry about it. This is
5-1. They're both 5-1. Some of them bound to lose and have two losses this year.
Yeah, but I don't want my Fins to lose. When you're a Fin fan, yeah, you've been used to losing for so long, and yeah. So
let's not even go back to the Marino ages. I mean, I thought Dan would at least win one, but
yeah. Well, we don't want to talk about Dan because Dan is like somebody I worship.
Wait. Who did you play when you were in the Canadian Football League?
I played for the Alouettes and the Calgary Stampede.
Okay, who was the big names that you played with? Like as far as like,
I played with Doug
Flutie.
Flutie. Nice.
At university, I played with a guy named Aikman.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the story. That was a story of how much you hate the Aikman.
The Troy.
Story there.
The Troys of the world. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Well,
you want to tell us a little bit of that since we already got your spot?
Well, last time I started talking bad about somebody, which was Lou Ferrigno, I got a whole gaggle of bad stuff coming to me. So I'll just say that Troy guy is not a very nice man. How's that?
Well, maybe during his I guess his college seasons and then into his rookie year, right? Maybe
I guarantee he's a dick. Some people are just dicks, and
look, the guy at the bottom is a big Cowboys fan, so I don't know how much of a dick he was to him.
Well, being a fan and being a person are two different things, right? So
right. I'm talking about his person. Talking about his person. Yeah. He was definitely a dick. Definitely a dick.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you've had interactions with him. I haven't had zero. I'm just like I'm watching from the stand. So
I was right next to him.
Yeah,
you guys had the locker next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're paper snap, like towel snapping each other, aren't you?
No. His only thing he's only thing he's ever said to me is, "Don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't look at me."
Interesting.
Yeah, look at him now. 3 Super Bowl wins, and you're in the
a whole bunch of money from Fox for being an announcer.
Yeah. Well, not just Fox now. I think with ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got to contend with Joe Buck because he's the play-by-play guy, and then he's just color commentary.
Yeah. He's no Tony Romo. How's that?
Actually, yeah, I do like Tony Romo as like, I guess he's the main guy. He's the main color commentary for CBS, right?
Yeah, he is.
Olsen and whoever else was the main commentary or the color commentary for Fox Sports.
Yeah, I don't mind Greg Olsen. I think his perspective is a little different because he was on the line more than a quarterback. So I think a quarterback's color commentary is a little bit better because they had to analyze both sides of the ball, not just one position look. At that tight end are the linemen, unless you were the center, that you're only looking at from the tackle or the guard, or are the tight end. But with the quarterback, he has to know every position on the field, offense and defense, and what they're doing. So their perspective is a little different. But I digress. We're a pop culture comic book thing. We're not a football thing, and I don't want to go into it.
No, we can talk sports too.
All right, everybody. I gotta take off, but thank you very much for the shout out. Much appreciated. Love to you,
Lawrence.
boys.
Love you, baby. Comic Capsule, everyone. ComicCapsule.com.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. All right, bye.
Bye, Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence, before you go, we need to talk about SDCC November the 4th.
Oh,
we need to pass some information to the group.
All right.
So we can be prepared for it.
We'll do it offline.
We'll do it offline. All right. See you, boys. Have a great rest of the show.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Thanks for Lawrence Lee, Comic Capsule, coming on and saying hi to us. We kind of talked about some stuff that we weren't going to talk about, but it still was fun. Again, we're talking about a cornucopia of things tonight.
Hey, if you have a story about of a famous celebrity then that you had interacted with, I gotta know what's going on too. There's so much gossip in the world and so much bad shit. Like, let's hear the older stuff. I don't mind us rehash or replay of what you did already.
Like I said, I would get into it more, but when I started talking about Lou Ferrigno, it went on and on about that. So
he what do you call it? He kind of not attacked you, but stepped up to you at a convention. So that's not really your greatest convention etiquette, correct?
Correct. And to
you
go on
like this segue? You like that?
I love it. Just roll it out to me. I need a little bit of rollout. Roll out. Anyways, but he didn't have to act that way. I mean, I can assure that he was working for his, his photographs and his signature. But if somebody's 40 feet away and takes a picture or waves to you or say, Incredible Hulk, you don't have to be a dick. That's all I got to say.
I see it the other way. He's trying to make his money. So if you're trying to sneak in the photo, and I know he gets residuals in there and there, but photos is where he gets his deal.
Of course. I agree. But you don't
have a reaction to that.
Well, I mean,
there's
several times that I had interaction with him. Like now I kind of walk by him just to say, hey, Hulk, and to watch his reaction because he always says something like, so, I mean, and he says it in front of kids and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't cuss or drop the F-bomb every once in a while, but I try not to do it in front of kids and mothers and fathers and people in, strollers. I kind of, refrain from that. I don't think it's necessary.
If he was a wrestler, then you will get that kind of that behavior from wrestlers. But he's a movie / TV star. So there's a little bit of self censoring for yourself in order for you to be more palatable to your audience. But maybe you're just caught up in the moment and still engorged in your character, where it's like, okay, you do you, but you're risking your reputation with these people every time they go to a convention. Like, oh shit, Lou Ferrigno's a dick. He's flipping me off.
And that's why, as much as I'm a Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Hulk fan from the late 70s, early 80s, that's the one reason why I would never go up to him and say, Mr. Ferrigno, could I have a picture for $20? Because he's such a not a nice guy. He's a dick. The other dick is Michael Rooker. From the Walking Dead, from Guardians of the Galaxy, from Mallrats. We can go all through his movie career, but
that's his typecast.
No, but he is one in real life too.
The way he acts, he lives the way he acts.
Well, he's. If we're going like the Mount Rushmore of famous people that I've ran into that are complete dicks, Mr. Aikman is number one.
What is it? Is it in the shape of a dick?
What's that?
Is it the shape of a dick?
His head, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, he's number 1, and Michael Rooker's number 2, and maybe Lou Ferrigno's number 15. But I mean, if we're going about, you know, how I would rate them and my interactions with them, that you know, 1 and 2 are those two gentlemen. Yeah.
Okay. Misto says I only met him once years ago at WizardCon Chicago. He seemed nice, but there was no line at the time. Maybe, yeah. If you catch him at a good time, then he'll be in the good mood.
Yeah, just like anybody. I mean, as nice as Red is, and Red is probably the nicest man I've ever ran into. I'm sure Red can be in a bad mood once in his life too.
Yeah.
So
I think E-Man has felt my wrath at least once.
See, that's what I'm saying. Just once.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
I could tell you the story. I mean, we were going to our junior college one morning, and he was constantly kicking my seat from behind because he sat in the back. So on the freeway, this guy just caught me in like a bad mood. So I pulled the car over on the soft shoulder, and then opened the door and started wailing on him from the back. So yeah, he never did it again. He never did it again. See, once. You want to defend yourself on that one, E-Man? Come on.
Halloween fell on the weekend. Red and Matt and E-Man were trick-or-treating, robbing little kids for bags.
Oh, there's another one that I caught E-Man at a bad time.
Oh.
It was prior to Halloween. We had a BB gun and we kind of disguised it as a real gun. And so we made up the story where one of our mutual friends got jumped by a bunch of other dudes we went to school with. And so E-Man was already pissed off because, you know, his girlfriend at the time, I guess they had some kind of spite, and then he wanted to do something. So like he was already all huffed up, ready to go murder some folks because he already had a gun ready to go jump these fools. And then by the time everybody in the car, because we already know where we're going, we're going like go to the movies. But he was on this mission, like let's go beat these guys up. We revealed to him like, hey, we're just going to the movies. That was a whole lie. And E-Man himself was not happy with us the whole night.
E-Man.
Good times though.
It looks like good times. Good times. Since we're starting to talk about con etiquette and cons themselves, since we transitioned. And we'll go back to the other topics too. We're floating around here in our cornucopia of topics.
What's your main etiquette that people should be really paying attention to? Like other than come into the convention clean and showered.
You know, if you don't come in clean and showered, that's something that me and you on this podcast are not going to change. That's filthiness that was taught by your parents, and you should be ashamed. That's my commentary on that. My main thing is that I am a cosplayer, and I kind of look at things through my other love, which is doing that. Touching. When you're taking a photograph with somebody, a star, a cosplayer,
especially the semi-nude ones.
Especially the semi-nude ones. You gotta, I call it Keanu Reevesing. You know, he never puts his arm around nobody that he takes a picture of. He holds them.
He puts it around, but
or hold it at the sides. And I think that's a good thing because you just don't want to look like a perv. And
you got to respect their space. But if you are given consent that you could touch these people or do
well, that doesn't mean to cup their butt.
Right. But if they have given consent, let's say this other cosplayer named Deep Pity, who dresses up as Deadpool and does
all the time. Yep.
Who dresses up and does these like semi I guess sexual kind of stuff with the other cosplayers, and
but that's two consenting cosplayers making content. That's different than
if you're
regular schmo with a camera and $10 that want to take a picture. You know, I don't like it. I think it's really terrible. Yes, Miss So Keanu Reeves is a gentleman, and I think that's why every man at a convention should be a gentleman.
Yeah, him and I, we share birthdays exactly. We have the same birthday.
Wow, that's cool. And another thing, costumes aren't that strongly put together, and i.e., putting your hand over the shoulder and you might knock a piece off or loosen up a piece or something like that. And that's just tragedy for a cosplayer because they got to go back to their hotel room, fix everything, take everything off, put everything back on, and then haul it back to the convention, which is huge work. I mean, Red can contest to this because he cosplayed at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's not that easy to move around with what you got on.
Yeah, well, you're dealing with humidity, walking all day, and then the constant barrage of requests of taking photos with these people, right? And granted, this is what you dress up for, is to get not just recognition, but at least have fans or have common interest with you, take photos with you. But it is hard work, and it comes down to like if you have a damaged piece of a costume. There isn't. Oh, I think there's a few now, but there isn't a readily available spot where you can repair your costume.
And I'll go back because I do my own. That even when you go to the cosplay fixing things at the convention, maybe they don't use the same material that you use. So, i.e., if you're using, I'll throw some crazy stuff, Warbler, and they don't have Warbler, you might not be able to mold it the way you wanted it to mold because you don't know how to work this different kind of platform.
And so, you don't have a heat gun to really.
Well, but I'm just throwing that out as an example. Say you used Gorilla Glue and they gave you some kind of other glue that you don't know how long it takes to tack up. How long does it hold? Will it hold the kind of material that your costume is made out of too? So, I mean, you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. So all I'm saying out there, if you're at a convention, be respectful to, the ladies, be respectful to the men, and be respectful to the creativity of their costume, because it might not be that easy to fix. By accident, you put your hand on it and it broke a piece. That's definitely.
And then you touch them at a soft spot, and it could be sexual harassment. According to this, cosplay is a weird thing. It's a legal way to walk around practically naked. So does Halloween. Halloween is a big time for everybody to dress sexy in their costumes, especially if those exotic erotic balls.
Yeah. But they don't have them no more. But yes, they used to have them. Yeah,
those times where you're exactly at an adult function, wearing adult clothes or costumes, and that's why like Party City and all the other places that sell sexy costumes made their money because of those balls. But when it comes on the cosplay and the convention, it's like you got to walk that thin line between being proper or being pornographic. There's got to be a balance.
Yeah, there's got to be a fair and equal balance. Another thing that I kind of have a pet peeve of is every con, no matter big or small, it gets tight in the convention area, especially in the sales area. Don't push, don't shove. I mean, I know a lot of people are there to get their merchandise, their exclusives, so they can turn around and go sell it on eBay in 5 minutes. But you don't need to push. And you don't need to push a lady or a child or somebody in costume, because i.e. some of my costumes I can't see. So I don't know if I'm going left or right or straight, and I don't know if you're behind me or not. So if you bump into me, you're going to knock me over, and I'm going to tell you
some of your costumes.
Yeah, if I get knocked over, I'm getting up.
Yeah, but you can also blame the venue for that, for not setting up an actual lanes of traffic and lines out into the lanes of traffic in order for them to wait for that set exclusive. So there needs to be a happy medium between the people setting up their booths and the people running the show, in order for them to okay, the traffic can't be here. Your line can't be in the middle of traffic. You have to break your line somewhere, or you have to limit your people there in order for the traffic to flow better.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. But I mean, we're talking about etiquette, so we're talking about the individuals at the con, and
Yeah.
most of these people that, i.e., go to San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con,
They're gonna
Dragon Con. This is not their first con, so they don't need to be pushing and shoving and all that, because they know if they're going to get that Hasbro Snake Eyes, that's one of 50 that they want to get. Yeah, they know if they're going to get it or not. So
look. If they push you, you have every right to punch them back. That's how I see it. You push some start a ruckus, then let's let it go. Let's let it go loose. I mean, you'll be banned from the convention for your lifetime, but
But I get some satisfaction.
Yeah. You don't push your way through there. Have a little bit of respect for the space around you. That's you're creating more a dangerous scene or situation when you're pushing, because that's when people get trampled to death. If there's a panic.
And let's go to the number one pet peeve I have at cons.
What did Mr. So say? I have never gotten a con exclusive. Never interested. Not sure why. Maybe there's something that hasn't caught your eye yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe you're not a fan of Funko or a certain T-shirt brand or Brick-a-Bear, Hasbro. What's the one you got for your niece? The Tokidoki kind of
Tokidoki.
There are just a certain amount of exclusives are available for that convention, and then they're only reaching a small niche fandom. So it's if you eventually find one, you have better luck getting it third market through eBay.
Yes,
able to go to that convention.
You just don't have the ability to physically say, "I got this at New York Comic Con." Yeah, that's the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're not in it for the I guess the exclusive scene, you're in it for just the experience. I think you've done great because you didn't spend money, other than just having this be in the venue, enjoying the scene, and then interacting with people.
Yeah. Red is 100% correct. I.e., being a con crazy guy, I guess that's the word I would use. I'm not really an exclusive guy either. I'm more of a what is the get together.
You're a man about the con, because once you are in cosplay, you emulate that character.
But when I'm not dressed up, when I'm got some street clothes,
you're just trying to you're networking. You're giving them stickers. You're helping people. Even fellow cosplayers get around, because you know the problem with that stuff with their the trouble they're going through, and you're being all nice guy about it.
Well, I want somebody to come out of that con, say it's their first time, and saying, "Wow, this was a great experience." I don't want them to come out, because I've been to several cons that I was like, "I'll never go back." So I don't want that same experience to somebody else. I want them to feel like, "Oh, that guy was nice. He helped me. He gave me some advice. He gave me a sticker. It was worth coming just to run into that one individual."
Yeah, you pop their cherries in a nice guy column when it comes down to convention scene, right?
Yes.
So I did buy my tickets for C2E2 next year, so I'll keep an eye out for them, meaning the exclusives. But I'm hitting mostly panels. That's the plans, anyways. Panels are always good. Panels are a great way to get away from the convention floor. Really, most are interesting, and some will have more the people that you want to see. That's what you came for. But yeah, it's for me, for panels, whether it be anime or some some really really popular stuff like Rick and Morty. I would rather be sitting in there instead of walking in the convention floor for 8 hours.
Yeah, I agree. I like panels. I like when they show the new season of a show that I enjoy, i.e. Rick and Morty. It's kind of cool to know about it 9 or 10 months before. You're like, it's kind of like a toy that nobody else has, but you have, because you have the knowledge of what the new season is going to be like, are consistent. And sometimes they even show one or two of the first 2 or 3 episodes at the bigger conventions, and then you're way ahead of everybody. You're like, I already know where it's going to go this year.
Yes, and the etiquette with that is don't spoil it for anybody else. If you've seen the other stuff in the Hall H, don't spoil it. I mean,
don't spoil it.
They don't have you sign a non-disclosure agreement form, but it's just common practice where you don't spoil it because you already had the access to go see this.
Right.
You know, that's
you're a privileged few that got to do it. So, you know, you should have that kind of mindset that this is something that some people that their whole lives revolve around. So
information, keep it to yourself until the season starts.
Yes. Keep it to yourself.
So spoil everything. I mean, you're well within your rights to.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. But you know, come on. Don't ruin it for everyone just because you're a privileged few.
Yeah. Main floor does get crowded now. I was waiting till Sundays for sales, and less folks there those days. Yes, Sundays are the best times for deals. People are ready to wheel and deal and get rid of overstock, and we'll let shit go for cheap because we're not. If I'm running a booth, I'm not bringing back the majority of this shit that I came with. I want to make sure that I move this shit that wasn't moving, or it's enough for me to like make it easier for me to move my stuff out after closing time.
And another thing, go there with a purpose too. You know, go to a convention with a purpose. You know what you want to do. You want to see what you want to buy. I say lollygag. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what that means, but just don't go there slack jawed and kind of move around. Have a purpose and a direction.
E-Man himself went lollygag and slack jawed, but that was his first time there ever.
Yeah.
I wish you had taken a photo of his face.
I think I got a couple photos of his face. I
need that reaction because it's like, you know, it's like kids' first time at Disneyland, and all of a sudden you have all these blinking lights and shit, and all these people dressed up. It's like it's the most exciting thing you ever see. You don't want to just like go straight to the item that you want. You want to see the whole floor. You want
right. Well, I agree, but you can still gotta have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have a purpose.
I think after the second day. Because you're gonna have to plan your route.
Yeah.
Really, plan where you're gonna go your next booth. What's the next item that I need on my list? Am I on the what do you call it, the lottery to go in line for Funko or Hasbro? You know, going to conventions will have that kind of stuff, but you know, again, it's good to have a plan because sometimes some shit doesn't fall through. Sometimes the exclusive won't be there, or the person you're trying to see ended up moving their timeline.
Right. Going to a big convention like New York or San Diego or Dragon Con.
Gen X right here, so Gen X.
These things to me, I mean, are like going up traveling abroad. You got to kind of have some kind of itinerary because it's just so big and so overwhelming that just going in there, like I'm not putting things down. Like say you went to well, the Wizard World is no longer a convention, but you like a smaller convention, like between 5,000 and 10,000 people. There, you can kind of just wing it. But the bigger ones,
like New York, Emerald City, San Diego,
Dragon,
the big one, and MegaCon. Those bigger
Colossal Con. You forgot to put that one.
Those bigger ones.
Missouri and Dallas is 20 to 40,000 people too. So yeah. But I mean, they all can't compare to San Diego. San Diego is like the Super Bowl, and that's why we're talking about more San Diego than the other cons. So we should preface this that, you know, we're talking about between 500 and 1 million people going to this specific con. So, you know, that's why it's kind of crazy.
Well, 500 and 500K. I mean, that might be a little bit too much to be inside the convention floor. But the whole San Diego really is geared up for it to receive 2 million people of tourists in the area.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, 2 million in a 10 by 10 block area is you know, overwhelming.
Yeah, and if the zombie apocalypse ever happens, I hope I'm not at San Diego Comic-Con where that shit happens because you'll be stuck in the crowd. I'm jumping in the water. No way I'm getting caught between Zombie A and Zombie B, and then you and I and E-Man and AJ and Luke are like, holy shit, what are we gonna do? We're gonna jump in the water. We're in the IMDb boat.
I'm right behind you. I'm jumping in too.
I'm not getting
jumping in too. No, I'm not getting bit either. I'm taking that costume off too that I'm wearing, so I can run. My underwear and bare feet. I'm going.
Yeah, remember they I guess the first Walker event was in San Diego Comic Con where they
I was there.
What they took over Petco Park.
Well, they had Robert Kirkman's zombie marathon through there.
Marathon in Petco Park, and then
Petco Park.
Yeah,
and
you
then,
had to run all the way up and down the
No, you started at the top of Petco Park and you ran down to the bottom. I actually did it.
You have photos of that?
I do. It's I can dig them up, but I'm not right this second. But yeah, I did.
I'd like to see that, man. I definitely does.
I think I did it in costume. Matter of fact,
as a zombie.
I did it as Daryl. No, Merle. Sorry, Merle.
Oh wow, you dressed up as Merle, the guy that you dislike. That's rich.
Because again, I go back to this cosplay premise.
Yeah.
I don't look like Rick. I don't look like Daryl. I look more like Merle. My body shape and my height and my weight is more like Merle. So I'm going to cosplay somebody I can actually, look and fit the part.
Yeah. I can't imagine you dressed up as Sailor Moon, but
exactly.
I can imagine you dressed up as Sailor Moon as well.
I have to shave my legs. I have to shave my legs.
You know what? Leave it on. Some guys love it natural. Some guys love that shit natural. Okay,
let's go back to Fear. As I was telling you, Strand reinvented himself. He speaks German now. He has a new boyfriend who's actually one of those German tourists that was left behind, and maybe a 17-year-old son that he claims now is his son too.
Okay,
so he's a quote unquote good girl in his Antone persona, and then they come and all hell breaks loose, and it ends up they capture Strand. They capture all the German tourists that was in the embassy suites.
Okay.
And they're taking them back to Padre, but they don't know where Padre's at. Only one knows where Padre's at is you know who.
Okay.
So that's how this one ends tonight. I think it's a really good episode. I was very happy with it. I give it
watching since the last 7 were, for me, at least the first 2 was really complete garbage. So is it worth it for anybody who stopped watching the show to just come back to this last season just to finish off the show? Do you think that this second half of 7 is just gonna completely at least blow you away, or at least give off a strong enough finish that you have a little bit more hope in the Walking Dead universe, where the next, I guess, spin-off where it involves maybe some of these characters or other characters, they'll get you excited for it?
Well, if you're asking me, again, I'm kind of partial to it. I think, yes, after this first episode of the final season, it's promising. I don't know how the rest are going to go, but this episode was quite promising. I was kind of, I like to be wrong, and I kind of didn't go into it as the best fan, but after watching it, I was like, they're bringing back Madison as a badass. They're bringing back Strand as a liar, and they're bringing about some characters that we know and some new characters that we don't know. And I want to know where they're going to go for this and who's going to die, because as well as I do, if they're going to end it, they're all going to die, or they're all going to carry over to Rick and Michonne. Yeah. Our Carol stuff are something else. So I just want to know where they're going to throw the ball.
All right, I guess I have to jump back in, and you, as you guys are fans, are like I said, your choice of whether or not to jump back into something that disappointed you, and then having to trudge through a series that you find was exciting at first, and then all of a sudden it became a complete disappointment. You know, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not your dad, so I'm not gonna tell you that we'll watch it. But for me, for at least a little bit of closure for me and these characters, I'll go back and watch it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had dropped off at the second season of Walking Dead, or you dropped off like E-Man dropped off after the death of Glenn, you know, maybe it's too much work having to go dig up those previous last 3 seasons for E-Man, and then the companion episodes with what do you call it, with World Beyond, and then the spin-offs with Daryl and Carol and Fear the Walking Dead. It's just there's a lot of content, and then it seems like that there's gonna be a bigger universe with these people, and I don't think that we're gonna be short on more stuff coming from Robert Kirkman and the people at AMC with Walking Dead. And the dying was sad, but it was a badass death. That was a badass death. She took that poison. I guess she was listening to some of her Walkman and then died in her sleep. And then she attacked Negan from the coffin. But she didn't kill him, but it was pretty close. But it was a rough way to die. Beautiful.
Yeah. And don't forget, Red mentioned all the spinoffs, but he forgot one, Dead City. And then Negan, if you haven't heard our previous shows, Negan's back.
Yeah, that's right, Dead City. She was one of my faves. Yes, Sasha is one of the faves. But during that time, I think she just landed that role as Captain Michael on Star Trek.
Yes.
That's why she already had cut ties with Sasha as a character, and then to move on to the CBS to have that starring role, and good on her that her star is going up, especially after that series is going to wrap up. I think she, however, is going to be at San Francisco Fan Expo as well. So if you need anything, let us know. We'll probably pick something up for you.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. Yeah, me and Red will both be there. Oh, and Red, just to change the subject.
No, Negan didn't die.
Negan didn't die. Negan's still a badass. Fan Expo in San Francisco, I signed up for Journeyman for their cosplay contest. So they're only accepting 40 complete contestants and beginners, journeyman, and professional. So I don't know if they're going to pick me or not, but if they are, I'm going to need your help just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, whatever you need, I'm there. All
right, beautiful. Okay, guys, let's talk about season 7 of Rick and Morty.
Wow, we're already making an hour. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we'll do it short because it's only one episode so far. Tonight's the second episode, so let's go, Ray. What did you think? And what did you think about the voices? Did it bother you, or did it take away, or what?
No, the voices were fine. The what do you call it? The pacing of the voices are still they still need to be worked on. It's just not there, not really towards what Justin Roiland is putting out there. But the story, however, was pretty fun. I guess they're gonna do it for this year. They're bringing on some celebrities on there. So the first episode we get Hugh Jackman. So the real Hugh Jackman,
Wolverine,
guest stars
Wolverine,
in the first
exactly.
episode of Rick and Morty as Hugh Jackman, and he
sings.
And he sings, and what's the best way I can describe it? Or it's like how Neil Patrick Harris starred in Harold and Kumar as NPH, but it's complete opposite of what Neil Patrick Harris was. Same thing for Hugh Jackman. Like he's this like really nice dude, Australian guy, and then now he's this party guy all about space and stuff, and wants to I guess do all
get high,
evil shit and get high. So like, man, this is nice. This is a nice little pace, a change of pace for at least Hugh Jackman. I think the episode itself was well written and great pacing on that. But the voices, there's some subtleties there, but you can get with you can go with it. It's
But did you notice Morty was only in there for maybe 40 seconds?
Yeah, only at the dinner table.
Only at the dinner table.
Only at the dinner table. So the rest of it was mostly Rick because it was this well, not the Squanchy episode, but the
Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy Butthole who ends up in hard times. His wife leaves him for a predator, the actual predator from
Predator,
the movies, and they divorce and she takes the house and kid. We find Mr. Poopy Butthole trying to get back with her, and then Rick and his friends like Birdman, Squanch, Gearhead, Hugh Jackman, and then some random dude that was mowing the lawn.
But the random dude from mowing the lawn was the best guy.
Yeah, try to do a what do you call it? A intervention because Mr. Poopy Butthole has been
drinking himself to death,
squatting at the house with the Smiths, and then and kind of like trying to kill himself. It's like, and not Summer, but Beth and Jerry tell Rick, like, you got to handle this. You got to handle your friend here because you the one who put him up in the house to help him, but now he's killing himself. So there's a nice little message there where you should help out your friends when they hit the lows, but they fuck it was a really an up and down adventure when it comes off the bat with the gathering of the crew and I guess just the random lawnmower guy who ends up being a brother-in-law to Hugh Jackman. It was like just randomly picked out the street and they just joined the crew.
I liked it because it brought back
Dan Harmon.
It brought back characters that I like. Poopy Butthole. I like Birdman. I never liked Gearhead, but I mean, Gearhead is a guy there in the show. But yeah, I got this out of this, like, you should always help a friend who needs help.
Yeah,
and that's what the whole episode was about. They went about it all wrong but it was nice that Poopy Butthole was smart enough to realize this, it wasn't, his birthday. It was an intervention, and these guys were doing good. Now, I watched the episode last week, and I never knew Poopy Butthole had a real name, but he has a real first name.
Shit, I forgot what it was though. What was his first name?
William.
Oh, William.
William Poopy Butthole.
You sure?
I think it's William.
Well, I think the poopy part is like the middle name, right? Because if you go by nickname, he'll be Billy Butthole.
Maybe Dan Harmon wanted to that, right?
Yeah, he'll be Billy Butthole, but William. But he didn't like the word name William, so he just Mr. Poopy Butthole, using his middle name as Poop.
But it's a great episode. I give it a 9.7 in a comic book.
Okay, I saw a 9.6. It's a first episode. Great start, and I'm looking forward for the night to 11:30 Pacific time. New episodes on Adult Swim. I know it's like already starting in Miss So's time in Chicago.
So Miss So, don't tell us, okay? Because I'm gonna watch it. Anyways, I think we went over our time just a little bit tonight.
Hold on, let me see where is it? Okay, and where did the Dolphins win? No, sorry, dude. My Philadelphia 31, Miami 17.
Oh well. Oh well.
There was hope, but I guess the fourth quarter just totally just let it go.
Yeah, well,
Plus they were away. They were playing in Philly.
Any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday.
Yeah. I got my Niners, and I thought you were a Seahawks fan, so I was like,
well, I am. I got an AFC team and an NFC team.
Oh, you have two teams. Okay. I guess I have to find one too.
Yeah. like in baseball, you have an American League team and a National League team.
I'm a one-woman man, a one-team guy. So
the 49ers and the Giants and the Warriors.
No, Kings.
Oh, Kings.
I'm a Sacramento Kings fan.
Okay. All right.
Warriors are like, I guess my if my Kings aren't playing, then I'll watch their games.
Okay.
I'll be a casual fan of the Golden State, as long as they're not playing the Kings. And,
as long as they're not playing the Kings.
Yeah. But that's it.
Well, everybody out there in podcast land, Villainous Red, Evil Fett, we appreciate you for spending another C-list Sunday with us.
Yeah, be sure to click the hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications to let you know that when we come back on, get ready to sit down for some comedy and entertainment. You can also find me in C-list Villainous Red on IG, Evil Fett on IG as well. Are your commissions still open?
Come get it. I had a inquiry today from a gentleman from Canada, and
okay.
A Canuck wants to have some stuff made by the Big Bad Man.
Oh, are you gonna make him a what do you call it, a poutine suit?
I'm gonna make him whatever he wants to. He just sent me a message saying that he liked my work and that he was interested in having something.
What's the character, the Canadian Mountie men in like, was it Looney Tunes or Hanna-Barbera?
You mean Dudley Do-Right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
He rode the horse backwards.
Yeah. He dressed up in the red uniform.
Yeah, the Mountie suit. Yeah.
That if he wants that one, I'd like to see the results on that one. If not, he'll find.
I think he was a Marvel character.
So he could be like, he'd be Captain. Who's part of the what do you call it? The
Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight.
Yeah. Was it Captain Canuck on that thing?
No, he was Captain Britain is from Britain. I think his name is starts with an A.
Okay, we're bad Marvel fans. We can't remember shit.
Yeah, well, I am old as dirt, so that has a lot to do with it too.
Dirt's older, so these 4 billion years old.
But I mean, Alpha Flight, there was only one character I liked was Puck anyway. So I mean, I kind of never got into it because I only like Puck. I believe it or not, I don't even like the character Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get a ration of what on
social media. Oh, hit him up, Evil Fett, and ask him why he hates Wolverine.
Before we go, I got one thing to say. I don't know the name of the TikTok creator, but he plays. If you guys know who it is, you guys can send me a message. He plays Professor X, and he's firing X-Men. Have you ever watched those little shorts on TikTok that the guy has? They're hilarious, and he makes fun of Wolverine, and I agree with everything he said about Wolverine.
Me, I'm not the type of guy to go and spend my time on TikTok, but for you, I'll go take a look.
It's funny. The guy does a great job as Professor X. Okay. I don't know how you put it in Professor X firing X-Men. Maybe that's how you put it.
There might be some videos on YouTube as well that way.
It's funny. The guy does a great job. Especially when he fires Dazzler.
Hey, don't get mad that when Taylor Swift becomes Dazzler on a Deadpool movie.
Well, she's an Omega level mutant too, right? So I mean, she does have power, but roller skates.
They're practically the same person. Practically the same.
What's that?
Her and Jubilee are practically the same powers. Oh, without the vampire thing.
Without the vampire thing.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Wait.
Thank you for another C-list Sundays. C-list villains, cultivator of comic book culture. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week, or we see you on Tuesday. Miss Soul, we love you. Dazzler will kick. Yes, she would. Well, anyways,
she'll probably gather all the Swifties to do all that.
Exactly. So bye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and being a fan. We appreciate it. Villainous Red, Evil Fett, we're out.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the C-list Villains podcast.